Para sa mga riders out there, alam ko familiar kayo, nakakatapos lang ng 2023 Makina Moto Show. So for some reason, baka meron sa inyo mga di nakapunta, mga minalas-malas. Well, we're here to round off some of the biggest launches from this year's show. And we're starting off with Honda's trio of new bikes. The first of which is the new Honda Rebel 1100. This is the Rebel 500's bigger brother. It has a 1083cc liquid-cooled twin-cylinder engine that generates 85.8 horsepower and 95 Nm of torque. Itong motor na to comes with a 6-speed dual-clutch transmission tulad ng Africa Twin. And yes, oo, automatic siya. Like the Africa Twin, meron siyang buttons dun sa handlebar para mag-shift ng gears in lieu of a gear shifter sa paa. Of course, the Rebel 1100 is bigger than the Rebel 500. The 1100 gets 18-inch front and 16-inch rear wheels. Dun sa 500, 16-16 lang yan. Pero yung seat height parehas lang. It's still 690mm or 27.1 inches. Of course, malaki yung difference in terms of weight. Yung 1100 weighs 233 kilograms, which is 42 kilograms heavier than the 500. Basically, isang sako ng bigas. The bike also gets a 330mm floating single disc brake sa harap and 256mm single disc brake sa likod. ABS comes as standard. Now as for the price, well, this one only stickers for 650,000 pesos. No wonder marami nagsasabi na medyo mura nga siya. Kasunod naman ay yung XL750 Transalp. Ito yung poging adventure bike ng Honda na nilaunch nila just a few months ago. This sits right in the middle of the CB500X and the Africa Twin in Honda's lineup. Powering the Transalp is a 755cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine that generates 90.5 horsepower and 75 Nm of torque. This engine is mated to a 6-speed manual transmission with an assist or slipper clutch. The bike also sits on 21-inch front and 18-inch rear wheels. As for the price naman, para sa mga interesado sa adventure bike na to, the Transalp comes with an SRP of 598,000 pesos. Color options include matte ballistic black metallic and my personal favorite, rose white. Last but not least dun sa trio ng Honda is the CL500. This is basically a Rebel in scrambler form, meaning higher seat, higher ground clearance, pati yung exhaust niya mas mataas. Powering the CL500 is a 471cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine that generates 46 horsepower and 43.4 Nm of torque. And that's the exact same engine found in the Rebel 500. Gaano kalaki yung height difference? Baka matanong nyo. The CL500 has a 790mm or 31.1-inch seat height. Yung Rebel 500 naman, 100mm or 4 inches lower than that. The CL500 has an SRP of 409,000 pesos. Color options naman for this one include matte laurel green and matte gunpowder black metallic. Now let's move on to what Motostrada unveiled at this year's Makina Moto Show. Meron silang dalawa, one under CFMoto and the other under Peugeot. First one is the CFMoto 800NK. This new naked bike is powered by a 799cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine that generates 94 horsepower and 81 Nm of torque. It gets a KYB suspension na fully adjustable sa harap tapos preload adjustable sa likod. It also gets 17-inch rear wheels na merong Maxxis high-performance tires. Sa preno naman, the 800NK gets two 320mm disc brakes sa harap at isang 260mm disc brake sa likod. ABS comes as standard, pati na rin yung 3 different ride modes na rain, street at sport. Medyo magaan din tong motor na to, 189 kilograms lang siya. Yung seat height naman, 795mm or 31.2 inches. As for the price, well, medyo mura din at 488,800 pesos. Yung pangalawa namang motor ng Motostrada ay yung Peugeot XP400. This is the brand's newest adventure scooter na, oo, expressway legal. This comes with a 400cc liquid-cooled single-cylinder engine that generates 35.6 horsepower and 38.1 Nm of torque. This bike can go supposedly hanggang mga 137 km per hour, tapos sabi naman ng Peugeot, 26.3 km per liter yung estimated fuel consumption. Nakakadagdag sa overall ADV scoot look niya yung gulong. Meron siyang spoke rims na 17-inch sa harap and 15-inch sa likod. Parehas may Pirelli tires. Meron din siyang 295mm dual disc brake sa harap at isang 240mm disc brake sa likod. Single-channel ABS comes as standard. The bike has a 13.5-liter fuel tank. Ang seat height naman ay 815mm. Tapos medyo on the heavier side siya kasi ang curb weight niya naman ay 231 kilograms. Sa presyo naman, medyo on the heavy side din at 555,900 pesos. Isa pang bagong scooter na nilaunch ng Makina Moto Show ay yung Suzuki Burgman Street 125EX. Actually, medyo pinagkaguluhan tong motor na to dun sa show eh. It still has the same 125cc air-cooled single-cylinder engine na 8.45 horsepower and 10 Nm of torque yung maximum output. Ang bago dito, bukod sa metallic royal bronze and metallic matte black na color options, ay yung mas malaking gulong sa likod. Galing do sa lumang 10-inch rear wheel, it now has a 12-inch rear wheel. Suzuki says 52.6 kilometers per liter yung estimated fuel consumption nito. Pero yung isa pang medyo nagbago dito yung price tag. This new Burgman now has an SRP of 92,400 pesos. Meron ding bagong husky na dumating ng Makina Moto Show. Ito yung Norden 901, yung off-road ready adventure bike ng Husqvarna. The Norden 901 comes with an 890cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine that's capable of 103 horsepower and 100 Nm of torque. This gets a 6-speed manual transmission with a quick shifter and auto blip. Medyo magaan din tong motor na to. Dry weight niya ay 204 kilograms lang. Medyo mataas din siya. Ang lowest seat height setting niya ay 854mm or 33.6 inches. Sa pinakamataas naman, it's 874mm or 34.4 inches. Ground clearance naman ay 252mm. Now this bike is also pretty loaded with features. It comes with cornering traction control and ABS. But what we want to note here is yung mga Philippine colors na makikita nyo dun sa bike. That's because the Norden 901 will be assembled right here in the Philippines. Now this bike comes with a sticker price of 950,000 pesos. Hindi rin nagpahuli ang Yamaha Motor Philippines this year. Dun sa napakalaki nilang booth kung saan naka-display lahat ng big bikes nila, nandun sa tuktok yung Tenere 700. The Tenere 700 is Yamaha's adventure bike that comes with a 689cc liquid-cooled parallel twin engine that generates 72.4 horsepower and 68 Nm of torque. It also still gets a 6-speed manual transmission. Tong Tenere na to, meron pa ding 21-inch wheel sa harap at 18-inch wheel sa likod. Tapos ang seat height niya ay 875mm, ang curb weight niya ay 204 kilograms, tapos ang ground clearance naman ay 240mm. Bago dito, well, yung kulay. Yung gray, that's called Tech Camo, saka yung Icon Blue. SRP naman, 679,000 pesos. So yun na nga yung ilan sa mga pinakamalalaking launches from this year's Makina Moto Show. Actually, marami pa yan eh. Special mention na lang doon sa mga katulad ng bagong V-Strom, ng bagong Vespa, bagong Benelli, saka bagong Kawasaki. That just goes to show na kung hindi kayo nakapunta, medyo marami talaga kayo na-miss. Pero para sa mga nakapunta, or yung sa mga nanood hanggang dito sa dulo ng video, meron ba kayong mga models na inaabangan na sadly hindi dumating? Tapos para naman doon sa mga bagong motor na nilaunch, alin dito sa mga to yung gusto nyo ma-review namin? Lagay nyo lang lahat sa baba.